Hey, Chris Lipe here. Static X, Wayne Static, the song Push It, isolated vocal analysis, and a study on how to sing like Wayne Static. There's a lot of cool things going on with his rangy grit. He's got the scream, he's got the grit, and he's got the growl, all happening kind of not at the same time, but very in close quarters. It's really fun to break down this style. And it's always important when listening to isolated vocals to make note of certain production aspects that affect how the vocal is textured and sounds to us because of the layering and effects, not necessarily because of the vocal performance. That's one of the reasons isolated vocals are so cool, is we can isolate the performance from the production. So keep that in mind as we keep working through this particular piece. If you'd like more help developing things like compression, grit, screaming, girth, distortion in your voice, the best place to start with me, believe it or not, is by clicking the link below and joining my free voice course. There's lots of ways that we can work together specifically tailored to your needs from there, but that's the best place to start. All right, here we go.
Corrosive, tainted by my sin, I'm spilling blood and I can't hardly contain it. Corrosive, hollowing the hands, you fear not eat away, eat into the surface. Yeah, you push it, yeah, you push it, yeah, you push it.
Okay, let's talk about his basic tone and approach here. Let's isolate one of these lines because it's fairly static in this section in terms of how he's approaching his singing. Let's take eat into the surface.
Eat into the surface.
Eat, there's your basic note. Now, this is classic lifting something heavy compression. Eat, adjust your larynx. Eat, it's not that. Eat. Eat. This is happening above my voice box. It is not making me choke. It is not tickling my throat. It is something I could do for a very long time, as long as it's placed high, and it's gonna be fine. I'll be able to talk afterward and everything. You'll know if you're doing it wrong. If you're doing it wrong, you will choke. You will have tickliness. You will have this premature dryness. Your eyes might start watering. None of those things are happening to me, which means I've placed the grit high. Okay, now with that in mind,
Eat into the surface.
Eat into the surface. Eat into the surface. Yeah. It can be harder to be agile with your voice and hit the right pitches. So when you first start doing this, just practice talking. Eat and recite the lyrics maybe. Corrosive, tainted by my sin. I'm spilling blood and I can hardly contain it. And you start to notice after a while that your ear takes over and guides you to the pitches, and you get into character because you're holding back the air right. Yeah, this is how it works. And you should be able to do it for a long time without there being any sort of audible or sensational effects to your normal speaking voice.
Yeah, you push it. Yeah, you push it. Yeah.
Now live, they throw these vocal textures around quite a bit. We've got one guy down here, and even we've got the yeah, you push it, yeah. We've got all these things going on, and they're different people on stage, different band members contributing these background vocals or these call and answers. So it doesn't necessarily matter that they're different people from our vantage point. We can still put these different techniques in our own voice. Just realize that they're getting this sound. If it's Wayne doing more of these parts in the studio, I don't know. But know that it's different takes, different tracks happening that's getting this coherent sound. That's part of what makes this production so good, and part of what we need to realize as a vocalist, that it's not just one person, one take, one track. There's a lot going into this. You can hear a little overlap there, right? He could totally sing that in one thing, but we've got
yeah, you push it.
Yeah. It's a little brighter and it's on one track. And then
you push it.
Lower larynx. Oh. Yeah, is a little bit higher in larynx position. Don't let anybody tell you that your larynx must be static or fixed. I'm going to use static a lot in this.
Yeah, you push it. Yeah, you push it.
So even if we're going to assume doing this at the same time, we can still assume that character contrast. Yeah, you push it. Yeah, you push it. Yeah. Good to go back and forth there.
You push it. You push it. You push it.
You. This is awesome. He's dialed up the contrast. You can hear again that there is this. I think, well, it's either, I know it's an automated delay over that. You push it! That's up there. And then there's this da-da-da-da-da delay thing going on. But then we've got this. Let's talk about that low growl sound. We can get there by going, we start by sighing. And getting in touch with our fry. And then we hold back air while we sigh. You might start sounding like an old man a little bit, but still direct the sensation. We don't want to be low in the larynx, old man. We want to be high in the larynx, old man. Hear the difference? Low, high, and then sigh. Homer Simpson's dad. Then we go like this. We add more air and we create more of a sigh, like, and let your voice crack as you're dialing it in and feeling this. You're going to feel the sense as you crack of like air coming up and hitting your soft palate. That's good. Then we want to think more compression. And then there's this sense that we are shaping. We want it to be low. We want it to be low. And we also want it to be sigh. This takes a lot of air. It's okay to run out of breath. It's okay to feel a bit lightheaded when you're dialing this in. Low growls take a lot of air. You shouldn't be able to do as much in terms of holding things out on growls or lower sort of sigh distortion as you should be up here on these.
You push it!
You push it! You push it! You can scream this for a really long time! But when you go down here, you push it! You push it! Those are very different postures, very different uses of airflow. Practice them at the same time if you want. He certainly did this live.
You push it! You push it! You push it! Explosive, more violent, all-consuming throbbing, straight to the circle.
So a huge production aspect here is the ability to sort of separate those two different characters on what sounds like multiple takes. And then having the delay automated in on the higher part. And then here on this section,
explosive move and reaction, I slow it down, I slow it.
There's doubling and there's reverb going on, which smooths out the sound of this natural spoken kind of compression.
Explosive move and reaction, I slow it down, I slow it. Down, 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 you push it.
Listen what happens as I subtly layer two mildly different performances together. It starts to sound a lot closer to the vibe we get here.
Down, 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 you push it. Yeah! Down, 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 you push it. Yeah! Down, 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 you push it.
Notice you get a smoothing of the distortion and a variety of texturing that happens. As I was almost more old manish and clean on this track, and a bit more like this. Down, 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 and down, down, down on that second track. So when you layer those together and you have that little bit of reverb and subtle delay on there, you get a nice, almost comb filtering, soothing sound to complement the gruffness of the voice.
Down, 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 you push it. Yeah!
Especially here at the end.
Yeah!
As it breaks up slightly differently each time, it creates a smoothness. It's really, really neat.
You push it! I see it. I need it. I see it. I need it.
Listen to the doubles, right? We've got this,
I need it.
that's not sung, but we've got the I need it spoken, and I need it, creating this neat spoken pitch discrepancy, which is so cool.
I see it. Ooh, I need it. I see it. Ooh, I need it.
Love this part. And this part live is definitely handled by Wayne himself, going those massive differences in how he approaches it.
I see it. Ooh.
I see it! Get it clean first. I see it! And then choose some arbitrary thing to go down to for the ooh. I see it! Ooh! I need it! Ooh! Let yourself do that first, and then
I see it. Ooh, I need it.
I love how the breath takes the place of the growl. It's so cool.
I see it. Ooh.
I see it! Now, let yourself break into this compression and vulnerability. Embrace what comes as you go back and forth to these different characters. I see it! Ooh, I need it! I see it! Ooh, I need it! He's inhale growling almost, adding some resistance with his false chords to get that same sort of ooh, 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 aye! And then allowing himself to engage in that higher, broken up note. This is really fun to practice with as long as you make sure you are free enough with it and don't try to sound too much like him. Embrace the techniques and go back and forth. Get into the groove a little bit. I need it. Play with it. Have fun with it. That's what he's doing. Get animated with it. Be relaxed with it. Accept the sound that comes as you embrace the sensations that result as you pursue it based on inspiration, not imitation.
I see it. I need it. I see it. I need it. I see it. Ooh, I need it. I see it. Ooh, I need it. My mind is corrosive. I trip on corrosive. I freak see through me.
The delay is on the same time as the words, which is so cool. It creates this sort of trippy, is it delayed? And then when he stops speaking, you know it's delayed, but it's just neat how the tempo is the same.
Corrosive, I freak see.
So you almost have this group of vocalists around the primary vocalist that are repeating the same things on the same times. Really neat sounding.
See through me. My eyes are explosive. I feed on it, black out, crucify me.
So I've got this delay set up so that it's in a quarter note, and I just have it quarter note 150. That's the tempo basically of this song, or you could look at it as eighth note gets 75. Doesn't really matter. The point is the pacing of the vocals and the delay are the same. And so if we look at this phrase,
my eyes are explosive,
and we put the delay on, my eyes. There's my click. My eyes are explosive. You get this sort of group thing going.
I feed on it, black out.
I feed on it, black out. I feed on it, black out. Black out, black out, black out. I can say anything on the quarter note. Super fun to interact with effects like that and see how it informs your performance.
Yeah! You push it! Yeah! You push it! You push it! You push it! You push it! Yeah! You push it! Yeah! You push it! Yeah! You push it! You push it! You push it! You push it!
Same delay thing going on there. Super cool. Thanks for hanging out with me as I broke down Static X, Wayne Static, Push It. It's always fun to get into all these different textures and really study what it means for our own voice. Hope you enjoyed the little production tidbits as well. Be sure to check out a lot of other artists on the channel. I've done this kind of thing for tons of artists in this genre especially. And if you'd like more help with your own voice, make sure you have clicked that link below and have joined my free voice course. We'll see you for more.